I think the piano lesson can be a fantasy trip. You can get out of your life and into the world of music and sound and discovery. And for the teacher to set that stage it takes a lot of energy, and certainly Nelita is a model of energy. I remember studying the Opus 29 Chopin Impromptu that opens with triplets. And she said, you have to make this like a glass of champagne. It just has to bubble. And images like that, you just don't forget. I was so impressed with her ear. She hears on another level, and that was very intimidating. I'd say, it's just wonderful that you can hear all these voices and everything. And she said, well, that may be wonderful, but I'm not going to be with you when you leave. You need to develop that in yourself. So she actually helped me to discover my own resources. I never, ever in 11 years heard her use the word bad or wrong. It was just, this could be different. This could be more one way or another. Nelita has never had, I mean, she has the same amount of time as everyone else. And I think most people who know her sense how busy she is. But when you had her, you had all of her. You had all of her attention.
Thank you. I'm really impressed with how comfortably you play this very difficult music. I am right that you are feeling comfortable physically when you play these 8 pieces, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Good. All right. Now, I'm sure that you know the story behind this piece. What you know about the masked ball and so on?
Well, I know that Schumann wrote this one. It's like a carnival.
Uh-huh.
Everybody dances.
Right, right. And each one of these pieces, I think, either represents a different person at the ball or a different scene at the ball. And the very opening, I think, is an invitation for someone to dance.
Okay.
And there's a kind of question at the end. Please dance with me? Oh, please dance with me. so that it has that questioning quality about it. I found yours a little bit dry because you didn't use any pedal. And I would recommend that first of all you put the pedal down before you begin so we have a good resonant sound on the introduction. Now, can you make this as smooth as possible? Please dance with me. Yes, please dance with, or I'll dance with you. Let's try it. Yes, it seems kind of a hurry for an invitation. But let's try it. Yeah, but maybe softer. He's marked at piano instead of the same as this. In fact, your teacher's written in soft. Okay. Then, after she has accepted the invitation, then they do the dance. Let's try it. What kind of dance is it?
This is polonaise.
I think that this is actually a waltz.
Okay.
And so we're very light on the second and third beats. Let's try it. Now, Pan, it sounds to me as though you're breaking the phrase in the third bar. And it's really how long a phrase? How many measures?
6, 7.
Let's take a look.
Oh,
How
this is
many?
4.
Right, and I'm hearing 2 plus 2. Let's make it just one arch over the top. Now, of course, we did have energy in the Bach, but this is a ball scene where the women are in their full skirts and they're not going to be moving with a lot of energy. Instead, very smooth. It's a creamy kind of sound. Let's try it. Very smooth. Good girl. Nice. Now, all the way to the top. Now think, go on, stepping, but then gliding. Yeah, maybe not so slow, but right in tempo. Stepping, but then gliding. I think the fourth glide, or the fourth bar could be a little slower. Stepping, then gliding. Good. Now this next one sounds to me like someone was late for the ball and he's rushing in a big hurry and even makes a mistake because we expect, but instead he goes to the C. So not only is he late for the ball, but he's stumbling over his feet as he comes in. So really go to that C that we hear it. Okay, try it. Yeah, but then go on, please. Yeah, but all I'm hearing is this. I want to hear all 4. I want to hear. That's it. Right. You see, if we just hear this, it sounds much slower than. Good. Good. Oh, we need the pedal clear to the end, huh? Yeah, but listen to that as you go up. I wouldn't make it quite so short at the end.
You mean keep it a little longer?
Yeah, keep the pedal a little longer, right. Right. And if you think about someone who's late and rushing into the ball as you play that, now something completely different. So we need a little break. You see, some of these pieces have more than one idea in them. This is sort of like an introduction, but now we do the elegant dance that he's late for, or was late for. All right, good. I'd love to hear the difference between the legato and these short things here. There's one note in this phrase that does not belong in the key. What key are we in?
A flat.
A flat major. What is the note in the melody here that is not in the key of A flat major? Starting here.
Okay.
Right, exactly. So that's a very special expressive note. Doesn't mean that we're going to accent it, but it's going to have a special feeling for us when we get there. Nice. You see, it's not enough just to follow your teacher's instructions here to put the left foot down.
Okay.
You also have to play softer, right? Okay. Let's do just the second one.
Okay.
Da-da. All right, now there's a difference between these two phrases that I'm not hearing. Here it's a G, but here it's an E flat, you see. Ba-dum, 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 but then ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Right. Now, the reason I mentioned that is that I think we played them differently if we have the G the first time, but then probably even slow down so that we hear the dominant. Understand? That's good. Now, what sort of person do you think is in this next one?
I think it's like a march.
Could be. I think that's possible. The only thing about it being a march is that there are several later on that might be considered marches. Could you think instead someone who's thinks he's very important?
A soldier.
Okay. We'll stick with the military. Let's try it. Now, the only problem is this is only a forte, and we've got a fortissimo later on. So can you make it just a little bit less, but still with a lot of force? On that long note.
Okay.
Now down the scale, to there, and then change your foot, then to there. All right. Now what's the one note in that line that doesn't belong in the key? Right, and even has an accent on it. So aren't we going to go to that? Second phrase. Now I wouldn't come down so much. Right on the F. All right. Now this is the fortissimo. And there's a little trick to making fortissimo sound louder when we can't actually play louder. Instead of going, if we start a little bit slower, it sounds louder.
Okay.
Try it. Yes, don't forget to bring in the other voice. What I mean, if we're going see how I play the first two notes? Okay. Yeah, would you start here, please? Yeah, but you see, all of a sudden it sounds as though this soldier got scared. Instead of Now, one of the challenges of playing a piece like this is that we have to shift gears so quickly between pieces. And when you played it through earlier, you kind of just ran one piece into the next. So often the end of one piece sounded like the same as the beginning of the next, and I didn't see a new scene at the ball. Instead, it was just kind of a continuation. Part of it was that you didn't wait long enough in between.
Okay.
The other was that there wasn't enough change in the color, in the change of the sound. Now, here we're ending with the piano, and this starts with the piano, so you think, well, that's the same. But the feeling in this piece is so different. And if you will do, and I see exactly, I was going to say the same thing that your teacher did, and that was lots more top. So it changes the color. You see, if we change the voicing, it changes the color. If I do this, see, it sounds very much the same. So remember, it's two things. You need to take more time, and you need to change the voicing. But most important of all, we have to think, what is the scene or the type of person that's being described in this piece? Have you thought about that?
I think this is very light.
Okay, very light. You know what occurred to me? Since this piece is called Papillon, what does that mean?
Butterfly.
Butterfly. This seems like a butterfly piece to me. You can just see it flying around. And you need a glowing kind of sound on that. You just see the light come on there. Let's try it. Yeah, that doesn't sound light to me. You know, just imagine the butterfly wings. You know that you can actually see through them. At least light goes through them.
Okay.
Very light. Yeah, even lighter than that. Yeah. Very light. Yes. And remember I said about the glow? You know, a little ping to that sound. Good girl. You interrupt that scale as it goes up. You're going. I exaggerate what you did, but we need the scale to go on. Now it still sounds to me as though you're doing a stop right here, Pan, right in the middle of that phrase. But go on, you see, don't stop. Now, one thing that is going to create more of a feeling of dance in this piece is if you're thinking 3-1, 3-1, yum, bum, ba. You see, the left hand has that pattern. 3-1, 3-1, 2 there, 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 2 there. Let's try it from here. Yum, bum. No, I mean both hands. Yum, 2 there. You see, one of the reasons I mentioned that is that you're early on the third beat. Yum, 2 there, 2 there, 2 there. Yum, bum, bum, ba-dee, and then, no, excuse me. Go on to this phrase, please. And then go on. Go on. Right. It's always interesting that even though a composer will write the same dynamic, in this case it's piano, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily the same softness. Mm-hmm. The character is going to change. Now, here is something completely different from what we had at the beginning. Would you say it's lighter or not?
Lighter.
I agree with you. Yes, so do you think it's going to be softer?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, as a matter of fact, if you can picture this butterfly just flitting from one flower to another at this point. Let's try. Not too fast. Yeah, but he landed there. Yeah, that takes a little time to land. Let's try it. Well, maybe not quite that much time.
Okay.
Once more. Good girl. Now, the chords in the left hand are as short, aren't they, as in the right hand? It sounded to me as though you weren't really listening to the left hand.
Okay.
Now, really listen for the shortness in the left hand. I'm really counting on those good ears of yours. All right. The only thing is here, Pan, you see those A's are held. See, the lower voice stops, but the upper voice goes on. There's no break in those A's.
Okay.
Do you remember in the last piece when the clock chimes? In the very last piece? Well, I think this is an earlier hour of the evening when the clock is chiming. We really need to hear that A. Ding, 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 dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Get the idea? Right, right. There was one thing that I meant to mention earlier and forgot when I said that it was a challenge for us to play a piece like this because they're all so short and we have to shift gears so quickly. It's very helpful if we have some image in our mind that we can think of which causes us to change instantly. That's why your soldier would be a good thing to think of for number 3, perhaps the butterfly for number 4. I suggested in the first invitation that it's some young man who's late for the ball and therefore is scurrying to get in there. Well, now what about this one? Have you thought about this at all?
This is, I don't know.
Let's play a little bit of it. My mind is a lady in a beautiful ball gown who is just moving gracefully across the dance floor. And you see she's greeting different people. This one, then that one, then that one. You see. Of course, we wouldn't stop as much as I did. But you notice that the 16th notes go on. So think of the 16ths going on. Very, very smooth, no hurry. Nice. And the nice thing is that she has a friend who joins her here. And they join on the D. So we have to hear both of those voices, right? Once more from the beginning. All right. Now, Pan, tell me, what happens to the sound of this note? What's happening to it right now?
Gets softer.
Right, so we have to listen to how far that's died. And then match. And I'm hearing,
Okay.
listen very carefully. Good. Now I'm going to ask you, one of the difficulties for a pianist is we have to listen to so many things. If we were clarinetists, well, we still have to listen to the piano part, but we have an awful lot that we have to pay attention to, and I don't hear you listening to this because it was a little too loud. You had such a beautiful sound here, but then that was too loud.
Okay.
What do you think? And you know what's so wonderful and makes this so expressive is that on all of these accented notes, well, on these two, those are not in the key, are they? Because we're in the key of what?
We're B flat.
B flat major. But oh, that's so expressive when we get to those notes that are not in the key. Okay, but let's go on. You. I heard.
Okay.
You see, you must listen. So all of this matches. Then match here. Can you start right there in the C minor? Pan. That is so much more beautiful. See what a difference it makes when you listen? Oh, it just makes all the difference in the world. This is so important. Okay, now would you go ahead to this next phrase? All right. When you get to the rolled chord, you're doing a sudden accent.
On the chord?
Yeah, well, on the roll chords. And there's really no indication for that, and it kind of interrupts the line. Can you just make it, when you get to those chords, just feel as though you're opening up the whole instrument, but not as an accent.
Okay.
That's very graceful. Okay, good. Now, when you get here, what kind of chord is that? Major or minor?
Minor.
Ah, and we don't expect that in this key, do we? So, really listen, make this a darker, maybe then back to the major. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, can you start maybe here with the rolls? Yeah, the only thing is we lost the melody, right? We have to hear first the minor, then the major, right there. No, I don't hear the top. Yeah, no. Right, and now it's like a clap of thunder coming up. Ah, but this one, when we jump down, the chord doesn't change, does it?
No.
So is that going to be as loud as the others then? No, pretty unlikely.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead to number 6. We have this, and this sounds to me like an argument. No down, no up. I want to go down, no up.
Okay.
You see? So instead of making the second one softer, I'd make it louder. Let's try it. Go down, go up, go down, go up. And who wins, the going down or the going up?
Up.
Sure. So give more sound on the going up. Okay. Go up. Yeah. See, I don't hear enough on that. More on the then completely different sound. I can hear children giggling over the argument that they just